The chamber was massive, filled with the soft hum of ancient technology. High-ranking diplomats from dozens of species sat in their respective seats, exchanging glances with each other. They represented civilizations that had spanned the galaxy for millennia, each confident in their knowledge and power. Conversations filled the air, from disputes over resource territories to the expansion of interstellar law. But one name kept coming up, faintly in whispers: *Human Star. They're colonizing their system at an unexpected rate, said a small, insect diplomat from a lesser-known system. Primitive, yes, but persistent. We should begin discussions on their potential entry into the Council. The larger species, towering and exuding an air of superiority, barely acknowledged the comment. A low murmur of amusement rippled through the chamber. Humans? They've barely mastered their own solar system, scoffed a reptilian representative, her voice laced with contempt. Their species is young, violent, and short-sighted. Let them play with their primitive technology. We have greater concerns. The atmosphere was dismissive, with a subtle undercurrent of arrogance. Humans, after all, were just a footnote in the grander narrative of the galaxy. The Council had seen hundreds of species rise and fall, and these creatures from Earth were hardly worth the attention. But, as with all stories of progress, not everyone was prepared for what came next. A hologram flickered into existence at the center of the chamber. The historian, a member of a species known for recording and analyzing galactic events, began his address. His voice was measured, as though he didn't expect to hold their attention long. While many of you consider humanity a minor player, their progress demands our attention. In a mere 200 of their solar cycles, they've gone from ground-bound civilizations to colonizing multiple moons and planets within their system. Their technological advancements have been erratic, but they display a unique ability to overcome their limitations. The room grew slightly quieter as data about Earth and its turbulent history was projected above the council floor. The historian continued, detailing their wars, their near collapses, and their eventual triumphs. Images of Earth's conflicts, its industrial revolutions, and its explorations filled the air, moving faster than any species present could grasp fully. Yes, they lack telepathy. Their physical bodies are weaker than most of us. They have no genetic memory, no shared consciousness. The historian continued, acknowledging the well-known facts that had placed humanity low on the Council's list of priorities. But despite these so-called weaknesses, humans thrive. They innovate under pressure. War and strife have bred within them a resilience unmatched by many species who have been spacefaring for thousands of cycles. The mention of humanity's violent tendencies stirred whispers among the diplomats. War was a common subject, but the historian's emphasis on humanity's ability to not only survive but thrive in chaos was unsettling. They are resourceful, the historian concluded. Their unpredictability makes them dangerous, yes, but also valuable. Valuable? A deep voice boomed across the room, filled with incredulity. It belonged to a hulking amphibious species. They fight among themselves constantly. They'll tear themselves apart before ever becoming a threat to us. The historian paused. Perhaps. But there is something else we've detected. He tapped a holographic panel, and the room shifted as an image appeared, dominating the airspace above. The room went utterly silent as the object came into view. It was a ship, unlike any they had seen from humanity before. Massive, angular, and brimming with raw energy. It was almost primal in its design. Utilitarian, yes, but there was a power in its simplicity, a brute force engineered for a single purpose. Harnessing the unimaginable energy of a dying star. The supernova ship, the historian declared. Humanity has figured out how to capture the energy of a supernova and use it to power their warships. Gasps echoed through the chamber. The term alone carried weight, a technological feat most thought impossible. Harnessing the power of a supernova was not something even the most advanced species could do with ease. Nonsense! A voice called from the back. Humans could never. They have. The historian cut in firmly. Their fleet was detected on the edge of our territories, just beyond the galactic core. The room erupted in chaos. Some diplomats called for immediate action, others for an investigation. The disbelief was palpable. A fleet of such ships? It had to be a mistake. Perhaps it was another species disguising itself as humans, using their name as a cover. After all, how could a species that was barely mastering its own system achieve something so grand, so destructive? But the readings were undeniable. Every sensor, every analysis confirmed the same thing: humanity had done it. Somehow, they had leapt ahead in ways no one could have predicted. The image of the fleet shifted slightly, showing a squadron of the supernova ships moving in unison, their sheer size dwarfing the vessels of any known species. Their engines burned with the intensity of dying stars, ready to unleash forces unimaginable to most. Suddenly, the holographic display blinked, and a message appeared in the alien language, translated for all to see. *** requesting immediate entry into the Galactic Council. Humanity awaits your decision. ***. Silence hung heavy in the room, the air thick with shock and uncertainty. For the first time in the history of the Galactic Council, the elder species were at a loss. They had seen countless civilizations rise and fall, but this was different. As the message hung in the air, unanswered, the realization crept in: they had underestimated humanity. And now, the galaxy would never be the same again. The chamber was still buzzing with the weight of the human message. Then, without warning, the room dimmed, and a hum of static filled the air. The council members turned, expecting a physical delegation of humans to arrive, but instead, the lights coalesced into a series of shifting holographic forms. No faces, no bodies. Just symbols, abstract patterns representing the humans who now stood, if standing was the right word, before the most powerful assembly in the galaxy. "Council members," came the voice. It was strangely mechanical, with a smooth digital cadence that filled the room, yet it held an eerie depth. The words were spoken telepathically, directly into the minds of the diplomats, bypassing normal auditory communication. Many species used telepathy, but this was different, cold, clinical. The humans, it seemed, had opted for complete digital communication, avoiding any physical appearance. Whispers rippled through the chamber as diplomats exchanged worried glances. No other species interacted like this. No visuals, no organic forms. The absence of anything biological made the humans seem less alive. Their arrival was deeply unsettling. "How do they project this? Telepathy? Machines?" one diplomat muttered, unable to mask the discomfort. "They don't even bother showing themselves," another added. "What are we dealing with here?" The humans had evolved, but not in the way the council had expected. Their ships, too, were unlike anything seen before. Towering, alien, and entirely non-humanoid. The sleek curves and flowing designs of most council species were absent in the human fleet. Theirs were blocky, brutal, functional. These were not vessels of art, they were instruments of raw power, designed to channel forces that made the galaxy tremble. How did this race, still unknown to many, leap so far ahead? A voice from the council broke the silence. "Explain yourselves. How did you achieve this? Supernova technology is beyond all but the most ancient species, and you were crawling from your planet's gravity just centuries ago." There was a pause, then the human projection flickered, as if amused. "We did not evolve as you did. We had no telepathy, no natural gifts of the mind. What we lacked, we created. The supernova ships are a result of necessity, trial, and recklessness." An alien interrupted, fear and anger lacing the accusation. "Perhaps," the human voice continued smoothly, undeterred. "We studied our own dying star. We learned to harness its power not by waiting for evolution, but by challenging it. We build, we adapt, we overcome. Our ships do not bend to the stars, they command them." There was a stunned silence. This was the crux of it. Humans didn't grow stronger through peace or passivity. They thrived through innovation, through the fierce will to survive. And now, they had created something no one expected, an unstoppable force drawn from the heart of destruction itself. "But to what end?" demanded a reptilian ambassador, his tone sharp. Why build weapons of such magnitude? Do you seek to conquer? To challenge the established order of this council? The human projection flickered again. We do not seek war. We seek to exist, as you do, but we do so on our terms. We do not conquer. We create. The supernova ships are a tool to ensure our survival, our presence among the stars. We do not come to destroy. We come to offer cooperation. This only seemed to heighten the tension. Diplomats shifted in their seats, the weight of these words sinking in. Humanity had the means to annihilate entire systems, and yet they were offering peace. The Council wasn't sure what was more terrifying, that humans were capable of such destructive technology, or that they were choosing not to use it. They are unlike any species we've encountered, a voice whispered. They could be a threat, or an ally. Imagine if we could learn from them. Another murmured, eyes wide with a mixture of awe and fear. What if they shared this technology with us? Supernova ships, able to harness the very death of stars. But not all were convinced. And what if they turn on us? What if their supposed peaceful intentions are a guise? We would be at their mercy. An elder species snapped, their voice cracking under the weight of their own uncertainty. Others nodded in agreement. We cannot trust them. They're unpredictable. They don't operate by our rules. Debates flared across the chamber, as species clashed on how to handle the humans. Some argued for caution, pointing to humanity's violent past, their wars, their endless drive to dominate their own world before expanding into space. If this was their history, what would they do now, armed with the power to level stars? Others saw opportunity. Humanity's rise was unparalleled, and perhaps, just perhaps, they could bring something new to the table, a perspective born of conflict, of survival against impossible odds. They could destabilize the peace we've built, one elder council member warned. Their arrival alone has shifted the balance. Or they could strengthen it, countered another, younger representative. Their technology could benefit all of us if shared. The argument grew fiercer. Should the humans be welcomed, or cast out before they could fully integrate? Some diplomats feared a future where humanity's unpredictable nature could erupt into galactic conflict. Others believed the opposite, that this wild-card species might actually bring a fresh wave of progress to the Council, if they could be harnessed. As the debate raged, the human projection remained still, observing the turmoil they had sparked without interference. Their silence spoke volumes. They didn't need to defend themselves further. Their power had already been made clear. Whether the Council accepted them or not, humanity would continue to rise. And the galaxy would have no choice but to reckon with their presence. The council chamber was tense, the weight of human technology and power still heavy in the minds of all gathered. The human projections remained eerily still, watching as debates flared among the various species. Some feared what humanity represented, a force of raw destruction, now wielding technology that could alter the balance of the galaxy forever. But others, particularly the younger species, were more intrigued than afraid. Humanity had surprised them all, not through domination, but through innovation. Finally, the human voice broke through the noise, calm and deliberate. We did not come here to make threats or demands. We offer cooperation. The word hung in the air, lingering like an unfamiliar concept to the council. The schematics of the supernova ships will be shared with those who wish to learn. We believe in expansion. Yes, but not through conquest. We've seen what that path leads to, and we've barely survived it ourselves. A ripple of surprise moved through the chamber. Diplomats exchanged puzzled glances. It was not what they expected. Humanity had the power to take, to impose, yet here they were, offering to share their most advanced technology with the galaxy. But there was a condition. We offer you the means to tap into the energy of dying stars, but only if we do it together. We have seen civilizations crumble under the weight of their own ambition. Alone, we could all fall. But together, we can build something lasting. The humans' words were calculated, yet they carried a weight of experience, a kind of weary wisdom. They had waged wars, destroyed themselves, and risen again from the ashes. Now they sought stability, an expansion of influence not through violence, but through mutual growth. We propose a partnership, the voice continued, to harness supernova energy safely. Together, we will ensure that this power is used wisely, not recklessly. This is our gift to the galaxy. A long pause followed. The very word gift seemed audacious, almost arrogant, but there was no denying the opportunity it represented. Supernova energy was the pinnacle of power, something only the most ancient species had dared to dream of, and here humans were, offering it freely, or so it seemed. For a moment, the council was silent. Then the murmurs began, growing louder with each passing second. Species debated among themselves, grappling with the implications of the humans' offer. Some couldn't shake the feeling that this was a dangerous gamble, while others saw only potential. We can't trust them, an elder council member whispered, his voice tinged with fear. They have the power to destroy us all. What happens if we allow them into our fold and they decide to turn on us? But others were more tempted by what the humans offered. They've given us no reason to suspect treachery. If anything, we can learn from them. Their rise has been unprecedented. They've achieved what we thought impossible. Imagine what we could do together. The younger species were especially fascinated. They had always looked up to the elder civilizations for guidance, but now, a new role model had emerged. Humanity was something different, something more dynamic. Their struggle, their survival, and their relentless drive to innovate inspired the younger species. They saw humans as mentors, as partners who had mastered both war and peace. But the offer also sparked a quiet fear in the older species. For millennia, they had controlled the galaxy's most advanced technologies, and now that balance of power was threatened. If they refused the humans' offer, they risked becoming obsolete. Worse, they risked alienating the younger species, who would undoubtedly follow the humans' lead. The debates continued, but the reality was sinking in. The galaxy was on the brink of a new era, one where humanity would play a central role. Finally, after what seemed like hours, the eldest among the council spoke, their voice slow and deliberate. We will accept your offer, they said, though there was a tremor in their tone, betraying the uncertainty beneath their words. But know this, the balance of power must be preserved. We will watch your progress carefully. The human projection flickered slightly, then nodded. Of course. We understand the stakes. This is a new chapter, for all of us. As the session came to a close, the council chamber buzzed with a mix of relief and apprehension. The decision had been made, but no one knew what the future would hold. Humanity, once dismissed as primitive and inconsequential, was now a pivotal player in the galaxy's future. As the human projection prepared to fade from view, they left the council with one final message. We have shared much today, but there is always more to discover. More to learn. We look forward to our future together. But remember, what you have seen is only the beginning. And with that, the humans were gone, their presence evaporating from the chamber as quickly as it had arrived. But the impact they left behind was profound. For the first time in eons, the galaxy was shifting. The elder species felt it in their bones, a deep and unsettling awareness that the order they had so carefully maintained might never be the same again. The younger species, on the other hand, were filled with anticipation. Humanity had opened a door, and they were eager to see what lay on the other side. As the council members began to disperse, one thing was clear: humanity had not only entered the galactic stage, they had reshaped it entirely. And no one, not even the humans themselves, could predict where this new path would lead.